After Second World War, the European Union is set up with the aim of ending the bloody wars between neighbours. As of 1950, the European Coal and Steel Community began to unite European countries economically and politically. The six founders are Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, and Netherlands. Also, in 1957, the Treaty of Rome creates the European Economic Community (EEC) or Common Market. The 1960s sees the emergence of youth culture, with groups such as the Beatles attracting huge crowds of teenage fans, helping to stimulate a cultural revolution and widening the generation gap. It is a good period for the economy by the fact that EU countries stop charging custom duties when they trade with each other. Denmark, Ireland, and the United Kingdom joined the European Union on 1st January 1973, raising the number of member states to 9. Arab-Israeli War of October 1973 results in an energy crisis and economic problems in Europe. And in 1979, all citizens can for the first time elect their members directly. In 1981, Greece becomes the 10th member of the EU, and Spain and Portugal follow 5 years later. In 1986, the Single European Act is signed. This is to sorting out the problems with the free flow of trade across EU borders and thus creates the single market. In 1993, the single market is completed with the 4 freedoms of movement of goods, services, people, and money. The 1990s is also the decade of 2 treaties, the Maastricht Treaty on the European Union in 1993 and the Treaty of Amsterdam in 1999. In 1995, the EU gains 3 more new members, Austria, Finland, and Sweden. The euro is the new currency for many Europeans. On 11 September 2001, the war on terror, which hijacked airliners, are flown into buildings in New York and Washington. EU countries begin to work much more closely together to fight crime. Cyprus, Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Malta, Poland, Slovakia, and Slovenia joined EU in 2004. Followed by Bulgaria and Romania in 2007. A financial crisis hits the global economy in September 2008, leading to closer economic cooperation between EU countries. In 2013, Croatia joins EU, and currently there are 28 countries in EU.
The main objective of EU are to promote peace, Union's values, and the well-being of its people. These general objectives are supplemented by a list of more detailed objectives, which are establishing an area of freedom, security and justice without internal frontiers, developing an internal market where competition is free and undistorted, creating a sustainable development based on balanced economic growth and price stability, a highly competitive social market economy, aiming at full employment and social progress, and a high level of protection and improvement of the quality of the environment. The promotion of scientific and technological advance, fighting against social exclusion and discrimination, and the promotion of social justice and protection, equality between men and women, solidarity between generations, and promotion of children's rights. In addition, the Union also ensures Europe's cultural heritage is safeguarded and enhanced.
Based on analysis carried out by the Center for Economy Policy Research (CEPR), one of the positive impacts on international trade and investment of EU is increase the size of the EU economy around 120 billion euro or 0.5% GDP by 2027. EU make up 46% of the world economy. Increased GDP means increase in the wealth of the household. As a consumer have a high purchasing power, the demand increase and resulting the increase in the import sector from other countries as well, because increased demand made by the European companies will also increase demand for components and services from their suppliers in other countries. Other than that, wages for both skilled and less skilled workers are likely to rise as a result of the agreement by roughly 0.5% for both skilled and less skilled workers. The negative impact of international trade and investment of EU is degraded ecosystem and reduced biodiversity. Commodities are produced and harvested in areas where the highest short-term return on investment can be achieved, while another negative impact of international trade and investment of EU is discrimination against the third world countries. Discrimination against these countries is a central problem of preferential agreements. Selective tariff abolition can eliminate the protectionism and distortion between the signatories of such an agreement and create trade-generating and growth-boosting effects. As the economist Jacob Weiner demonstrated in the 1950s, the bilateral or plurilateral abolition of trade barriers can increase trade if domestically produced of goods and services or import from the third countries are substituted by cheaper, for example, more efficiently produced goods and services from partner countries.
The positive impact of EU on Muslim countries is EU plan to launch anti-social terrorism project with Muslim country. This project has been proposed after the case of attack in France and also the violent confrontation in Belgium. In this project, EU will be sharing the information on suspected terrorists and the possible attack with many countries. The information need to be exchanged inside and outside of Europe in order to have proper tracking and to prevent various attacks that could occur in Europe. EU plan to launch this project in Turkey, Egypt, Algeria, Yemen, and also the Gulf country.
However, there is negative impacts of EU towards Muslim countries. Some of the EU members reluctant to allow Turkey to join their nations. The politicians in EU try to conceal their inabilities and failures by criticizing Turkey. Nicolas Sarkozy, President of France, said that Turkey should never become their members. However, actually it is prejudices of French towards Turkey and Muslim countries. Turkey's full membership to EU is supported by all Muslim countries due to some reasons, which are current balance of power, and Turkey is seen as representative of Muslim countries in EU. If EU reject Turkey as their members, Erdogan said that it indicates that Turkey is really against Islamophobia.